Next, we'll take Representative Nardone's other bill, seeing that he's right there, which is 5476. Please proceed, Representative.
Okay. Yes, this bill right here just amends a bill that's already on record as being a law right now. Right now, under statute 2827-5, it's an oil burner men get a limited license to work on electrical components outside the condensed unit, the boiler. So in other words, if you have a boiler, right now, an oil burner guy can go get a special license and work on the electrical components that are attached to the wall, that are attached to the heating system. HVAC guys, the people that work on furnaces, are exempt from that. And what this bill does, it amends it, it makes it so people that work on furnaces also are able to take, apply for the special license after they complete courses, training on basic electrical work. The other thing I want to say is the electrical work that's being done can be done by the homeowner. This just allows a person, an HVAC guy who works on a furnace, the ability to complete a job rather than having to call an electrician in. So if your air conditioner's down, if your heating's down on Friday, what happens is the furnace guy goes there, he may replace the furnace, he can't do any of the electrical work that's outside the furnace. He can work on any of the electrical wiring inside the condensed component, the furnace, but when it comes to being anything that's outside the condensed unit, you have to have a licensed electrician. And speaking to most of the guys that advocated me to put this bill in, most of them just do the work. But what happens is if it's a larger company, it becomes a liability issue. So I think it just gives them the same flexibility that an oil boiler guy gets. It gives it to a person who works on a furnace. I hope I explained that well enough.
I got it.
Okay.
Are there any questions, Representative Morgan?
I just think this is an absolutely excellent bill. And I say that from experience because my son actually does this work.
So that ain't your experience. That's your son's experience.
I know, but I get to talk with him all the time, Chairwoman. And, you know, they get so much training. They get all the training. They know how to do this. They can do it safely. And it is kind of the difference if the HVAC system is being used for heat and it's in the middle of winter and those people have to wait a whole nother day, the people who need that furnace running would really like the guy who put it in or who fixed it to be able to hook it up to electricity. They're not asking to do electrical work inside of walls or, you know, they're not wiring anything. They're not working with the panel. They're not putting wires and electrical components in. They're just hooking it up. And they do get plenty of experience and training to make sure that they can do it well.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. And we have Mr. Paul McDonald on the phone who opposes this bill. Mr. McDonald?
Well, good evening again, Chairwoman. Look, this is pretty late now, and I'm not going to get in front of you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
this is
you.
backing up on me, I hear it.
Thank you.
I'm not going to stop and get between you and some of you folks. So, look, this is not a good bill. I'm the father of two electricians. One of them is a master electrician. And the HVAC workers already have the ability to repair any low voltage equipment, which most often is where the problems lie. It's always low voltage. The change would give their workers the ability to work on unlimited voltage and amperage devices. And if they wish to do that, there's a trade already that does the work. It's called electricians. So we are absolutely opposed to this legislation. It's dangerous. You can kill people when you get into the high voltage stuff. So we think the bill is not good, and we're totally opposed to it. And thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Any questions, Representative Nardone?
Yes, I have a question. Could you tell me if the homeowner, the resident, could the resident go downstairs, who doesn't know the difference between a Phillips head and a flathead screwdriver, go down there and work on the electrical components?
Absolutely. They do it all the time, and that's why you find bodies every now and then.
Yeah, I know, I hear about them in the news on a regular basis.
Well, not on a regular basis, Representative, but I can tell you that people have died for fooling with electricity.
Let me ask you one more question. Is it true that the HVAC worker can work on the inside condensed unit with all the wiring and all the voltage on the inside of the unit, which is the same voltage on the outside of the condensed unit?
I do not know the answer to that, sir.
Well, the answer is yes.
Well, I don't know that. But the law is the law. They wouldn't, you know what? When they change the law, then they can do what they want. But the law now doesn't allow them to do it, and they shouldn't do it. And if they're good craftsmen, they would respect the safety aspect of that law.
The reason why the law is, I'm trying to change the law is because it's unreasonable. Thank you.
No.
Are there any?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, that's the conclusion of testimony 5476. Paul Alvarez, Local 51 Plumbers, Pipefitters, Refrigeration, is against it, opposes it. Joel Walsh from the IBW LU99 Local Union 99 opposes this as well. That concludes that, and we'll move right along to